can go buy slides.
No.
I'll give you my slides.
RoboMaster. I forgot the launcher. Oh, launcher is level 1 RoboMaster. Next.
Slide it. It was working yesterday for everybody.
Go to Osa.
Oh,
Or don't.
There we go.
I'll be using an accessory that code will give you multiple different targets for us to shoot. And some of the targets will not be shoot measurable. I'll be putting up a multiple targets. Some will be 3 by 4 inches, and some will be 1 by 1 inches. Targets in the 35 feet area in a while to give myself a goal because I have goals to be working on here next week here now. Code, I don't know how to do it. Relevant, I've created this because personally, I forgot to do it. First, this would be from time based. I'll be research. I'll research my goal by doing what I'm saying. Okay, I forgot to do some of my specific stuff.
Whoa.
My technology is a RoboMaster, which is a robot that you can go to do things, such as that and everybody can go whether or not to shoot a jelly at them, or you can told it to make the movements and it takes work to get through obstacles. You can make or that if you're in a room, the code you have has different projectiles such as the command ones that command ones tells it whether the code should be run out at a certain time or run at a different time, depending on what you want to do.
Should be able to just sign it.
Oh.
Oh, mine. Yeah. I got it. Ooh. Yeah, stop. Touch it up. Okay.
Well, really, the robot is similar to the one police use for getting example I use, and the one police use for gathering bombs. This is what similar to
Bombs.
You can actually get different attachments for the RoboMaster, such as a claw and stuff like that, but we do not have that. Next. I learned each of the codes, what each of the codes does, and points of each one of the codes. What problem was that, man? The problem was I was having a RoboMaster was battery was not lasting long enough while I was missing the code. For some reason it was being kind of shoddy or I don't know, it wasn't lasting that long. I would have to use both batteries just for about an hour worth of retesting the functions of the RoboMaster. It's a video if you want to play like 9 minutes long, if you're not like it.
You should play it.
Oh.
Whoa.
I'm around.
Oh. He didn't shoot Morgan.
Whoa. Half of this was code, and half of this was just me messing around with it.
Right.
So what part is code and what part is you driving?
You. Shit's burning here.
Oof.
Oh, bang.
And one thing I also noticed of it is it has different.
Who shot me?
Somebody said some of it there's some type of blockage in the barrel of it, so it doesn't fire properly. So that
Bang. You just shoot yourself.
so basically, the code is just to do random things during it when I'm just driving around. Sometimes those randomly fire or sometimes. Originally I was going to plan actually.
I didn't know there was a zoom.
There, but
I didn't know you could zoom.
This was one of the pictures when I was looking at the code. Basically, it was just a code by itself. I did not do it. This is where I always set it before I ran the code. Yeah, one of my final products was Sigma Geeks. I forgot to do that. I was able to get the code down all the way I wanted to use it. The chassis code is to make the robot master move, whatever. I would do the robot master later, not 2 weeks ago, because I would have tried to get the robot master to go through different obstacles than this, but I learned that the code is rather simple when you do your research about the code. I like doing this launcher because I was able to pull the robot, whoever I want. Vocabulary. There.
Alright, 1 on 1.
One left.
Fine.
Alright, tell us about recycling plastics.
Woohoo. But
I did the research of recycling plastics. My technology was the World Wide Web, and I used the launcher energy efficiency, reusing and recycling plastic.
Should be able to slide it. It was sliding through.
You have to tap it a couple times. And click.
My SMART goal. My challenge is to determine what types of plastics we use every day. I think that throughout this project, I will meet my SMART goal because I think it's very easy to figure out what type of plastics we use in everyday things. I planned on researching different stuff every day to present in my final presentation. I enjoyed this project because I was able to research and work on my own. If I were to do this project again, I would focus on better ways to recycle plastics. I was able to learn a lot about plastics and how we can recycle them around our area. And I only have the question left to ask is how many people actually recycle in North Dakota? I learned all about the plastics in the days I was given. I was learning about the different types of plastic and what chemicals make them. I was also beginning to learn about different recycling methods before my time was cut a tad short by the time limit. I learned that there are 7 different types of recycling methods that are used for the 7 different plastics. My launcher relates to the real world because plastics that are getting improperly disposed of are becoming a real problem to the environment. When I did this project, I was able to learn and know more about how our improper disposal of plastics is terrible. I learned about the ways that make it easier to recycle plastics. I spent my time on this project learning about plastics and how we recycle them. I also learned about their impact on the environment. I learned all about North Dakota's recycling systems and processes. The only problem I had in this project was finding the right information. There were plenty of sites that didn't have the information I wanted, and I had to scan through a few decent ones to actually get the information I needed. There are 7 different types of plastics. We have PET plastics, which are a common plastic used for like drink bottles or carbonated drink bottles. HDPE plastics that are used for milk jugs, shampoo bottles, bleach bottles, cutting boards, and piping. PVC plastics that are medical devices and wiring cable insulation. LDPE plastics, which are dispensing bottles, wash bottles, and tubing. Polypropylene plastics, which are pallets, bottles, jars, yogurt containers, hot beverage cups. PS plastics are plastic cutlery, dinnerware, and smoke detector housings. And then just other plastics that are not specifically named because they are less common and used for other specific things. North Dakota is ranked 32nd on the chart based on how good the states of the U.S. are at recycling. So 32nd out of 50. Only about 5 to 6% of plastics in North Dakota actually get recycled. It's only about 10% for the U.S. in total. With Without a change in behavior, the ocean life would begin to die and start to either adapt by moving away from the places with trash, or just die out entirely and go extinct. My challenge was to find out what types of plastic we use every day. I believe I met my SMART goal because I was able to figure out what plastics I use every day and do additional research on what makes these plastics. And I would like to do more research on other subjects, but just not this specific subject again. I like being able to figure out what types of plastics I use every day. It was interesting to learn. I was able to figure out what type of plastics I use and do some extra research on North Dakota specifically. One major thing I learned is that just 5 to 6% of recyclable trash actually gets recycled in North Dakota. In North Dakota, it may seem like they have a really good recycling system, but in total, for recycling overall, only 10% of plastics get recycled in the US. Okay?
Okay, so yes, please.